Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our panel today about studying abroad. My name is Yana, and I'm very excited to be moderating this panel. I am originally from Ukraine. I've lived in 6 different countries, and I am a current first year student at the University of Birmingham, and I'm studying education. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, Millie is a company dedicated to building a global community for international school students, and this is why we host these panels. And here's how today's panel is going to look like. We have some pre-prepared questions already, but again, you can always submit your own questions through the Q&A. And the first 15 minutes or so, we'll go through the pre-prepared questions. And then after that, we'll let our panelists answer any of the student questions. Your questions can be general or they could be directed to a specific panelist. Either is fine. And feel free to message at any moment. So let's get started then. Could each of the panelists please introduce themselves? Please tell us your name, the city you are currently in and are from. Where did you attend university and what did you study? And one fun fact about yourself. Can we please start off with Clementine?
Hello, everyone. My name is Clementine Grousseau. I was born in France, but I was raised in the United States my entire life. And I currently go to ESSEC, which is a business school located near Paris. And I'm currently at their Singapore campus in Singapore right now. And so this is the Global Bachelor's in Business Administration is what I'm currently studying. And I just finished my second year. And one tiny fun fact about me is that I speak 4 languages and I'm currently studying 2 more, thanks to ESSEC's program.
Hello, everyone, and I'm Ece. I'm from Istanbul, Turkey. I'm currently studying medicine in the University of Milan in the International Medical School. So I live in Italy now for the last 3 years, and I have 3 more years to go. And a fun fact could be, maybe not fun, but I have 1 kidney. Not a fun fact, but it's just a fact. And I play basketball and also the drums.
Wonderful. So great to meet you. And thank you for your fun facts and facts. We'll start off with the first question. What drove your decision to study abroad? And were you attracted to a particular course or location, or was it another reason, maybe a cost or a graduate prospect? Feel free to mention any of the above that I've just listed.
I think everybody knows that United States school is really, really expensive. And one of the best ways to get away from that is to study abroad. ESSEC is extremely affordable. And I thought that their program was really worth the money that I was investing. And so far it has held true. I mostly joined it because of their incredible study abroad opportunities and a very intense internship. I'm currently doing an internship right now and I've already done one in my first year. And those were the main reasons why I joined ESSEC. And so far it has really paid off. And obviously the lower cost really helps.
I have a very similar answer to that, but with one more also reason. So in Turkey, there is this one university entrance exam, which everyone has to take. And then you just get ranked by your points. And then you go to whatever you choose to study, like medicine, like engineering. And it's only just one exam. So it's really hard to get into medicine. And I studied in an American high school in Turkey, so I wasn't really ready for this entrance exam. But Italy's, just for the medicine exam I met, was specifically tailored for my studies. So it was quite easy for me to study and get into it. And also because of how affordable it is to live in Italy. And also for international students, they give great scholarships and also meal plans and dormitories. So it's really easy for me to live here, even if we consider the economy part of it, like Turkish lira is not in a great situation right now, but still it's very affordable. And I wanted to study in an international medical school, so then I could continue my studies in anywhere in the world.
Wonderful, guys. Thank you so much for your responses and giving the students an idea of what your main focus was for studying abroad. And we'll move on to the next question with what support has your university provided to you personally, and what do they provide in general for all of the international school students?
When it comes to paperwork, they really help you in that process, either specifically for the French visa or here in Singapore, getting a Singapore visa. They outline every step you need to follow in order to get access to a student visa. And in France, once you get your titre de séjour, which is your 1-year student pass, they even send you emails and reminders when you have to renew your visa. So they're really on top of it and making sure that people don't accidentally get kicked out of the country by accident. And so when it comes to paperwork, they're really good at that. And when it comes to integrated international students, we have a lot of clubs and associations. One in particular is called MELT, which is meant for international students to get to know the French students that live on campus. And that way we can all mingle and get to know one another. There is sometimes a bit of an English language barrier, but 99% of the French students speak English. So it's a really great way to learn from one another. And there's a lot of specific culture clubs. So for example, if you come from Korea or Japan, there's already culture clubs established to help you further showcase your culture and then learn from French culture. So it's a really nice blend for international students.
And in Italy, unfortunately, the bureaucracy part is the worst part, the paperwork. So that's a big disadvantage. The school doesn't help you at all. And it's really hard to take care of all the paperwork and the resident permits and all that. So you can get kicked out of the country actually in Italy because the school doesn't help you. But thankfully our upper years are really great about it. All the internationals, we have a great system. So they help you a lot. But other than that, the way the school helps you is, I think most part financially, because as I know, mostly in Europe, for example, in like Netherlands, it's more expensive for internationals, like tuition and the other things. But here in Italy, actually, the internationals pay way less. For example, for my tuition, I just pay 156 euros per year. And it's just like a, I don't know, I think it's just to show that I paid. It's just a little money. And that's really good. And also they give you like up to 5,000 euros of scholarships per year, which is also good. And especially in Milan, they have dormitories, which cost you like 2,700 euros per year, which is great for Milan because you can find housing for less than 500 if you want to stay in a single room. So that's really good. That's the ways they really help. And also you get a free lunch every day until Saturday, and also half the price for dinner. So economically, they support you amazingly, and paperwork wise, you're on your own, unfortunately.
Thank you so much for sharing. It's really wonderful that both of your universities are so integrated with the international students and trying to make sure they're able to settle in the new countries and showing the two sides of the countries with visa help. Sometimes it's a bit more difficult, but thankfully you do have the older students to help you in any case. And moving on, do you think you have faced any challenges while getting grips with the new culture? And then if yes, how did you face these? For example, did you have any issues with the language barrier? I know Clementine, you touched a bit on that, if you want to follow through with that.
I'll admit that language barrier wise, my parents did teach me French because they were French. So that wasn't too much of an issue, but with some of my friends, since I have a lot of international friends, it is still a bit of a struggle. There are some of the French students that don't really want to speak English because they don't like the language, or they feel they don't speak it enough, so they're too shy to speak. So it creates a bit of a divide in that sense. But there's also a lot of French kids that already speak it. So it is okay, but it is one of the things where there's a little bit of a barrier. And otherwise, I think struggle-wise, the culture is very different. European culture is obviously much more different than American culture. And so I just try to take it a day at a time, and I try not to get shocked. Usually my biggest shock has been the work ethic. Americans, you know how we say that we live to work, no, we work to live, while Europeans live to work. And so I kind of work till I drop dead, while my French friends will take it a day at a time. The meetings are much more relaxed. And so while that personally is a shock factor to me, that is something that I shouldn't be shocked about. When you're in France, you should do as the French do. So I just try to take it a day at a time and understand their culture by one day. And that's sort of the best advice I can give, is that even though the little things may surprise you, you do learn to get used to it. And even here in Singapore as well, I try to really take it one day at a time and keep an open mind.
For me, the culture was okay for me because it's very similar to Turkish culture, and actually Italian people, to my surprise, are very similar to Turkish people in so many senses. So I adjusted to that pretty easily. Even the way we fight about who's gonna pay for the meal, it's exactly the same. So it feels like home. I got adjusted to the people, to the culture quite easily, especially the food. It's very similar because it's both Mediterranean. But language was a big barrier for me, and all of my Turkish and other international friends here. Not for the Europeans, because most of the Europeans could grasp it easily because it's similar, all the Latin languages. But language was a barrier because when I first came, I knew nothing. I only knew how to say ciao. And I thought, because Milan is like a big city and like it's a very touristic city, I thought people would know English, but they don't. So, and even if they do, they don't want to speak in English. So you just have to learn in the supermarkets, in the restaurants, you just have to learn. And when you don't understand, they actually yell at you in Italian because they think when they raise their voices, it suddenly turns English. And we understand, but unfortunately it was hard. But the school, it helps because for the first 2 years, it gives you free Italian courses. But I think this is only for medicine because we have to know Italian by the end of the second year, because then we have our rotations and then we have to speak to the patients who are, of course, Italian. So that was a huge help. Two lessons each week of Italian, and then you learn it by living. And I still have 3 more years to go, so I hope I will get over this barrier also.
Thank you for being so open and honest with your personal experiences and kind of how you coped with it. And it's great to understand that there are universities that are helping you adjust to the cultural and maybe language barriers. And what advice would you have for other students who are considering to study in Europe and then go on to maybe study abroad if the university provides this opportunity for them?
I mean, first and foremost, do it. It's just, if you really want to take that leap, it will be an incredible experience, completely different from, I mean, most of the people that stay behind. If you really want an opportunity to travel while you still have the time to, I think it's a really, really great idea. Don't be afraid of the language barriers. We're all overcoming it little by little. Even in Singapore, I've been learning Chinese, and now I can order off the street markets in Chinese, and that's awesome. You feel really proud of yourself when you manage to do these things. And it's really taking that leap. It'll be super scary at first. The paperwork will be daunting, but I think once you make it and you're living and you meet these people from all over the world that you probably never would have met if you traveled abroad or studied abroad, it's when you realize that it was probably worth it. So if you're on the fence, I say go for it. Obviously, financially, like, verify everything with your parents and family. But if you have the means and the want and the support, you should absolutely go for it.
And I completely agree with everything Clementine said. And also, I think it's it's so amazing to study abroad, especially in university, because, for example, to be honest with you, like I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to wash my laundry. Like here, I came here, I used the washing machine for the first time in my life. And I think it's a great experience because you get to do all these things by your own, without your parents and without anyone's help. You settle in a new country, you have new friends, and you do all the bank related things, all the bureaucratic things on your own, so you become like a real adult, in my mind. So I think that's a great experience to do it as early as you can. And also travel, you get to catch Ryanair sales, and you get to travel Europe basically for cheap, and you have friends all over Europe and all over the world, and it's really beautiful. It's hard, but when you adjust to it, and when you have great friends that support you and help you, it's really amazing.
Thank you so much, guys, once again, for being so open and honest with the students. It really helps them understand kind of what to look out for and what to understand. And can you let us know what your favorite part of your studying abroad has been?
I just think the people. I've made friends that I never would have met otherwise. I have a friend from Mauritius, which is, I never would have met anyone from the Mauritius Islands. And it's really awesome. I really think the connections you make, not even like in a business sense, just like the people you meet and the experiences you get to share with food or with just sharing culture and just talking to others is something you can't ever replace. And I think that's the beauty of studying abroad.
I have to go with travel for this one because I think it's amazing how just spontaneously we can text each other, text our friends. Oh, do you want to take the train to, I don't know, Genoa today? And we just go without even looking at the weather. And I think it's great because in my country, like I couldn't even go to the European side in Istanbul. We have both Anatolian side and European side, and I couldn't even go to the European side to meet my friends if I don't talk about this like a week before, if we don't arrange it the week before. But here I can just say, oh, let's go tomorrow to Genoa, let's go to Paris this weekend. And I really love the freedom, I have to say.
Thank you. Wonderful. Could we now move on to the student questions? And our first one is, what is your favorite part about your university/course?
What I really love is that in comparison to the US specifically, maybe other schools do that too, is that there are no general education classes. You get to jump right into your major. So from year one, I have my finance class, I have my econ class, I have all of these management related courses right away. And instead of having to redo a history credit or a physics credit for the millionth time, I get to jump right in. And I think that's my favorite part. And the courses are really nice. It's really cool to have teachers that have a Wikipedia page. So it's just, you feel special. It's really nice.
My favorite part might sound weird, but I think I really love that our exams are all oral exams, and usually the exams are written. I mean, in Turkey, they're written in medicine, and most other countries I know are written. But here they're all oral exams. They're a bit old school. All the professors actually, like, we are not allowed to use our phones in the classes. They get mad at you like in high school, and you're not allowed to, I mean, you're allowed to, but they make faces at you if you just leave in the middle of the class. And I really like the high school vibes because I have to learn, and it's hard. But I love the oral exams because, like, if I make a mistake, and which I do, of course, I can correct it in the oral exam. And we have long exam sessions. We only have exams 2 months in the whole year, and the other times are just to us. So we have fun. We go to classes, not worry about exams. I think that's my favorite part.
We're unfortunately at the end of our time, but thank you so much to our wonderful panelists for spending the time today. Wonderful insight and key highlights of what studying abroad is like, as well as some of the things to watch out for. So thank you so much once again for being so open and honest with us. And thank you to all of our viewers. I'm sure you can agree that our amazing panelists have done a fantastic job and provided some crucial information to guide your decision around making your next steps for university. Thank you.
Thank you.